All right, everyone, we are live. Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. Let me just say hi to everyone here. Okay, Black Beauty, E. Carter, welcome back. QV, Queen V, welcome. Woke, Insightful, Red Aquarian, Merlin. Okay. All right, guys. So I want to tell everyone, welcome to today's live. This is one of the most important lives that you're going to see going forward. And it's important that you understand what is going on and understand where things are headed in terms of technology. Hey, Pelej, welcome. Okay, I want everyone to take 1 minute before we get started. Everyone take 1 minute and to post. I want everyone to take 1 minute, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, and subscribe. As you know, this is how these, this is how it works, right? Give me just 1 second. Okay, great. All right, hello, welcome, Ms. Dunning. Today is an informative, packed video. And the reason why this is one of the most important videos you will be watching, it's you need to understand what artificial intelligence is, what the intentions of artificial intelligence is for, how it's going to impact you, and it's going to impact everyone. But depending on the programmer, it can impact certain groups worse than others. Okay, so today is about explaining to you what artificial intelligence is, what it's capable of inside of the human body, what it can do from a real live person. The first thing I want to say very clearly is that there's these rumors going around on social media that COVID-19 is 5G. That is unequivocally a lie. I'm going to say it again. That is unequivocally a lie. Everyone press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay, great. So everyone can hear me. For some reason, the software that I'm using is really, really slow and it's not loading the comments as fast. Okay, wonderful. All right, so the first thing I would like to make clear, 5G is not COVID-19. That is a lie. And I can say that with all authority because anyone who is considered a TI, that is a targeted individual, or a TTI, which is a technologically trafficked individual, meaning these companies, police officers, etc., use technology to traffic, stalk, and harass people, can tell you and will tell you that they were testing 5G on them before they ruled it out. Okay, 5G is technology. COVID-19 is a lab-created virus. Now, can 5G spur on virus-like symptoms? I made a video on that on my old channel called long before COVID-19 about technological diseases. Okay, if you go back to my old channel, which is Rai Joe, and you look up technological diseases, I made a video on that a long time ago. So yes, technology can induce diseases and viruses, absolutely. Okay, can 5G exacerbate diseases and viruses? Absolutely. But is 5G COVID-19? That is a lie. Because people like myself who have been implanted, they were using us as test subjects to test 5G before they rolled it out. So I am not a person who is giving you research papers. I am a person who actually live with this technology. So I understand innately inside of me how it works, the capabilities, and how it functions. And I'm going to say unequivocally, 5G is 5G. COVID-19 is a lab-created virus. The two are separate. But 5G can exacerbate viruses and diseases depending on the frequency it's deployed. Let's get that straight. Now, today's video, let's get right to business, okay? So regarding blurry and things cutting off and stuff like that, that's out of my power. That is because so many people are online, they're in their homes and they're online. So things are slowing down. That's not my fault, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear. Let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at what is artificial intelligence. So we're looking at the relationship between AI and this 5G. And as I am telling you this as someone who lives with the technology inside of me, you need to understand why you have to be extremely careful of their vaccines, okay? And you have to be extremely careful with doctors, because there are doctors who are secretly implanting people with this technology covertly and then doing active denial when complications arise in patients. The doctors are actively denying it, even though there's been thousands of lawsuits. The police are actively denying it. We call it the 4 phases, which is under the Department of Homeland Security. Okay? The police actively deny it. The doctors actively deny it. And then they label the person under psychiatry, even though it's technology that's in their body. Okay? So understand this. So as we go forward today, I'm just going to give you the basics and I'm going to go and explain to you what it's like to live with this technology inside of your body. Under no circumstance would I tell anyone to get this kind of technology in their body. I am against it 1,000,000%. Okay, let us make that clear. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at really quickly, artificial intelligence. Very quickly, in short, what is science? AI, sometimes called, watch this, machine intelligence. That's the most important thing you need to understand. It's actually machines doing this. Okay? Is intelligence demonstrated by machines, which contrasts natural intelligence displayed by humans and animals. So this is machine. They want machine to mirror natural intelligence. Okay? Leading AI textbooks define the field as a study of intelligent agents. This is very important to understand. And what is intelligent agents? Refers to independent entity which acts directing its activity towards achieving goals. This is the most important thing you need to understand. They want machines to think for themselves, to act for themselves, the program environment using observation. Watch this, this is the most important thing, through sensors. because this is what's inside of me. And consequent actuators. Okay? So that's intelligent agent. Any device that perceives its environment, you see, perception. Perception is key to understanding this technology that they legally put inside of my body, right? Okay, and takes actions that maximize chance of successfully achieving its goals. Now, let me be clear. The goals of this technology in a person's body does not bring the person success. It brings the programmer success. Let me make that clear. When they say successfully achieving goals, not your goals as an independent, naturally intelligent being, the goals and the success is from the programmer who programs the AI. It has nothing to do with you. For you, it is slavery. For the biological system, whether it's animal, insect, humans, or plant life, it is slavery. For the programmer using the machine, they want to achieve their goals, okay? Not yours in any way, okay? Colloquially, the term AI is often used to describe machines or computers, watch this, that mimic brain functions that humans associate with the human mind. That is something key that you need to understand. They want machines to mimic brain functions just the same way a person's brain or an animal brain has cognitive abilities. Okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand. Is everyone following? That's the first thing everyone needs to understand. It has nothing to do with you. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your peace. They don't care about your sanity. They don't care about your wealth, your success, nor your well-being. AI is there to do one thing and one thing only in the human body. Successfully carry out tasks for the programmers. Nothing more, nothing less. Is everyone following? So I posted that article. Guys, do not ask me to post the article again. When I post it once, I will not be posting it a second time. Okay, so that is the article. Is everyone following what AI is? So before we get into how it works in the human body, you need to know what it is. The objectives and the goals of AI is not for your success. I am not saying this from reading research papers. I am not saying this from watching videos. I am not saying this from listening to other people. I am saying this as someone who lives with this every single day. For the human biological system, me, it is utter slavery. For the programmers and the tech corporations and the government agencies that are rolling this out secretly and are testing this on innocent people secretly and then using active denial, it is control. It is wealth. You can become very wealthy if you have 100 people, 100 brilliant people with microchips in them hooked up to artificial intelligence computers, artificial intelligence implants, run back to supercomputers. You can become extremely wealthy as a person going around doing this. How do I know this? We had one of the top investigations done. It was one of the biggest investigations I've known ever done. And the one doctor, Dr. Abinagev Agawa, whose family works with Microsoft, a company that goes around implanting people with this technology. His company net profited in 1 year $400 billion. Net profited $400 billion from illegally putting these artificial intelligence systems and microchip systems hooked up to artificial intelligence and supercomputers into people's bodies. $400 billion. For the victim, I'm going to go and tell you what it's like for the victim to live with this technology. Police are involved, judges are involved, doctors are involved, lawyers are involved, government agencies are involved, military is involved. I'm not saying all of them, I'm saying within them. And most importantly, Luciferian, demonic tech companies are at the helm of this, and telecommunications companies. You need to understand microchip run by AI hooked up to supercomputers is nothing but utter slavery and highway robbery. There is nothing free nor freedoms having it in your body under no circumstance. And those of you who are thinking about putting this, injecting your pets with these as tracking devices, it is utterly abominably wicked. Okay, so I needed everyone to understand, have a framework of what AI is. Okay, so let's get into the more important details. Okay, why am I doing this? Because the goal is cyborgization. You are watching right here from your computer a living witness of the attempt of cyborgization through technology. I have the medical reports. I have the CT scans. I have the MRIs. I have the body scans. I have the computer. When I had them go and analyze my computers and my cell phones, I have all the damn evidence that this is real. Okay, so going forward, you need to understand that this is real. Okay, so let's get started. So now that we understand what artificial intelligence is, okay, so it's basically they're using via a microchip, via nanotech, even nanofibers, okay, because nanofibers, nanotech, microchips, wireless body area networks, they all function with a brain in them. Nanofibers have a brain, nanotech has a brain, wireless body area networks have a brain, and your regular microchips have brains. And the goal of these things is to have it deployed via artificial intelligence, which is hooked up to supercomputers. There is no win-win for the person where these things are deployed in their bodies. All right? All right. So we went into that. We went into microchipping and AI. Okay, so let me tell you some of the places where they put microchips, wireless body area networks, nanotechs, nanotechnology, nanofibers. All of these things are, and nanodust. All of these things are highly intelligent and also breathing in nanotech chemtrails. Okay. All right. So where are some of the places they put it? For men, it's in their testicles. When you go get an exam, when you go to the gynecologist, just like myself, you get an exam and you don't even know the gynecologist just goes into the walls of the uterus. That is one of the major places where they put it. Okay? When they want it inside of the tissue. So not circulating through the bloodstream, but in the tissue is where they want it because it's very hard to dislodge. I'm telling you the areas where they put it. The second most important places is in your dental cavity, okay? In your dental work. So you go, you get a root canal or you get a filling, and they would put it under, they would pull out the top, the crown, and then they would insert the chip, insert the tech deep into the jaw or inside of the actual bone of the teeth, and then seal it shut. That is the second place where they put it. Okay, the third place they put it is you're going to get a dental exam again, and then they go up into the olfactory system, and they would lodge the implant anywhere in the olfactory system. Okay, these are the major areas. Why? Because if you have an implant, nanotech, nanofiber, whatever, wireless body area network, body area controller, body area computer, or body area network, they would place it here. Why? Because it allows them to literally control your breathing and control your sight. Okay? Control your breathing, control your sight, control your taste. Here is another place where they put it. They can lodge it inside of the brain. Okay? And this usually, if it's not done under surgery, it's usually deposited via nanotech, nanofibers that get lodged in the brain. The other is to put it ear. A lot of victims have it right behind the ear. You see the bone right there and the cartilage right behind the ear? That is one of the places where they would lodge the chip. Why? Because when they're doing the things like V2K, which is voice to skull, okay, or the voice of God, there you're able to hear. So again, so where do they put it? Men, it would be in your testicles or your scrotum. Women, it would be in your vagina, your dental work, in your olfactory system. Some people even get it, they even put it in their eye, okay? But it's usually lodged at the top of your sinus, okay? Okay, women, if you're going to get breast augmentation, there was a massive lawsuit in UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, where the doctors in that university was placing the devices under the breast implants. Okay, so if you're getting breast augmentation, that's another place they would deposit the actual device under the breast implants, and then put the breast implants on top of it. Okay. All right, so let's look at some other places. Some people, they get body scans. They will put it in their knees, their ankles, on top of their foot, behind their knee, okay? Their back or their sides, okay? These are the main areas where they place these devices. Now, let me get into some of the devices. You have body area controllers. Oh, sorry, top of the head. The top of the head and the belly button, inside of your belly button, okay, is where, and they usually place for the belly button is women if you're having any sort of female medical surgery. Female medical surgery, the belly button. The reason why they would place this in the belly button, and I'll explain the head afterwards, I'm telling you everywhere where they're known to place these devices, so you're not naive. The belly button. The belly button and the top of the head is where they put what is called a body area controller. Body area controller. The body area controller, think of this as the motherboard. Think of it as the brain of all of the systems that will control all the other tech inside of your body. The two main places they place the body area controller is under the belly button on the inside and at the top of the head. The top of the head is where they put what you call a battery pack. A battery pack. At the top of the head right here, you know that groove, that little indent that all babies have that's very soft when the skull, when you want to test to see if the skull is hardening, right there. That is where they would place what they call a battery pack. Battery pack. What is this battery pack and what is this body area controller? The battery pack that they place on a person's head. Now, these two is via surgeries. Okay, surgeries. You got to be under when they place these. Okay, under when they place these. Thick legs, yes, birth control, but birth control is not necessarily official microchipping. Okay, all right. So the battery pack is so that the person becomes an active walking cell tower. The body area controller that they place in the belly button, baby's cradle cap, that's it. That goes right here. That is where they would place the battery pack. The battery pack is so that the person literally becomes a cell phone tower. This is why I am telling you that 5G is not coronavirus. Okay, that is a lie. 5G is 5G, coronavirus is coronavirus. And they have been testing 5G on the victims they've implanted. So we know that 5G is not coronavirus. Coronavirus is something totally different. But we do know that 5G can exacerbate diseases. Okay, let me get back and I'll get back to your question. So the top is the battery pack. What is the purpose of them putting via surgery the battery pack at the top of your head? This is for two main things. So that the cell phone towers can pick you up anywhere there are cell phone towers. The second thing is that the satellites can directly pick you up of your head. The third part is once there is the battery pack at the top of your head, okay, that battery pack, depending on what information they want to send to you, can literally control the thoughts of your brain. All of it is torture technology. It is remote torture technology because they literally turn the person towers, walking cellular towers. And what is the reason why the demons would do this? Because when they want to test 5G, when they wanted to test 4G, you have a biological system that has a battery pack that acts like a cell tower and a body area controller in the belly button of the person that you can hook up to cell towers. So when you're deploying 5G, you can literally run it through the person's body, and then you can remotely get feedback on how destructive the technology is on an actual living specimen. Is everyone following? Okay, so we explained battery pack, top of the head. Now the body area controller that they usually place the body area controller on the inside with a surgical cut under the navel. Okay, okay, like for example, mine they place on the left side. Okay, under they put a body area controller in the body because the body area controller literally acts like your cell phone motherboard. Okay, so every single thing that you able to do on your cell phone, the body area controller would allow them to remotely do to you. Is everyone following? Like, let me give you an example. So the body area controller, much the same as your cell phone, requires a PIN. Just the same as in order for you to go into your cell phone, you have a password protected PIN. Anyone given the PIN of the body area controller can type it in, punch it in, and they get access remotely via the computer systems and the supercomputer of every single thing going on in your body, including your brain waves, your heartbeat, your heart rate, your heart space, how often you go to the bathroom, if you're sick, if you're healthy, the health of your bloodstream, the amount of radiation you have in your body, when was the last time you were electrocuted, what are your neural functions, if you're pregnant, if you're not pregnant, if your menstrual cycle is coming, if you need to use the bathroom, to liquid or solid, your movements, your plans, if you're an inventor, it literally will take the invention from your brain, run it through the cell phone towers or run it through the communications grid, right back to the supercomputer, and then they translate it and they can run off with your ideas. Is everyone following? So the body area controller acts as the motherboard, whether it's the motherboard for your computer, the motherboard for your cell phone. Now, here's another thing about the body area controller. The body area controller that they put under the navel, or sometimes inside of a woman's uterus, or sometimes inside of a man's testicles, okay? The body area controller allows anyone with a cell phone, your PIN, a computer, a laptop, and the remote telemedicine app. All they need is the telemedicine app. They have the right link to your body, your PIN via the body area controller that is under your navel, and they can literally hack into your body. Is everyone following? Type 1 if you are following and you understand what I'm saying. Just give me 1 second. Let me grab some water. Okay. Just let me grab some water really quickly. Okay. Okay. So now that we understand some of the technology, we understand some of the wording for the technology, we understand how some of this technology works, let's look at why people think that coronavirus is 5G. Let's see. Let's look at why. Okay. Now the coronavirus is more the novel coronavirus. The major symptom of this coronavirus is a high fever and pulmonary issues. Okay. So your breathing issues. Okay. Now, can 5G do this on its own? Yes. However, these are some of the things that when you have this technology in your body, these are some of the symptoms you experience. Okay, so let's look at the symptomology of when you have this technology in your body. The first thing that will happen to you is you can't sleep. There is no peace of mind. You will never have peace in your mind. Why will you never have peace in your mind? Because the technology in your body, someone is sitting on a phone, a laptop, and a computer actively monitoring you. And just the same as I can pick up my phone and call you, they can dial into the chip in your body and have a full-blown conversation. It is not schizophrenia or schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is when you're hearing voices in your head. This is not the same. This is voices inside your body and the sound from your head. The sound emanates wherever the chip is. If the chip is in your feet and there is a two-wave radio built into the chip, the sound will come from your feet. If it's in your hand, as long as they have the system in place for the sound will come from your hand. If it's in your eye, it will come from your eye. The sound will come from your eye. If it's your nose, it will come from your nose. If it's in your dental work, the sound will come from your dental work. If it's in your ear, if it's in your breast, if it's in your stomach, like me, because it's in my uterus, the sound comes from my stomach. A doctor can place a stethoscope right where the implants are and can hear them having a full-blown conversation in my stomach. This is not schizophrenia. It's a mental, and some say it's a immunodeficiency disease. This is not that, and this is also not V2K. V2K is a directed energy weapons using frequency aimed at your head. Whereas when you have nanotech, nanofiber, body area networks, body area controllers, a battery pack, nanofibers, wireless body area networks, wireless body area controllers inside of your body, wherever the device is, that is where the sound will come from. Is everyone following the difference? Okay, whereas schizophrenia, it comes from the head. Whereas this technology, if the chip is in your hand, okay, if the tech is in your hand will sound off. If someone is communicating, the sound will come through your hand. If it's in your eye, it will come through your eye, your nose, your mouth, your ear, wherever it's located, that is where the audible sound will come from. Okay, so that's the first thing. There is never any peace inside of your body because it's hooked up to an AI supercomputer. And if they want to torture you with remote military torture that they're testing, they would do something like a chatterbox. You know how the internet, they have something called bots? Okay, they will deploy what you call a chatterbox. And a chatterbox is basically AI-induced technology that is programmed to talk. As soon as you wake up, talk, nonstop. And it is programmed because they're testing remote torture. This is why it's not 5G. And this is why 5G is not coronavirus, because 5G and artificial intelligence is a nightmare. So I'm making this video so you can understand the difference. Okay? This is a living witness of this. Okay? All right. So the chatterbox technology is for testing remote torture. Why? Because things like Guantanamo is illegal. Torture sites, torture chambers are illegal. Okay, countries go to court, they get prosecuted for illegal torture. So what they're doing now is they're using victims who they've implanted to test something called remote neural torture. And remote torture. Why? Because remote torture is very difficult to prove. And it's going to require military technology to prove that you're being tortured via what is called remote torture. Okay? So understand what is taking place, right? So we explain the chatterbox and we explain partial torture, right? Okay, so that's the chatterbox. So let's look at some symptoms of having 5G artificial intelligence hooked up to a supercomputer. What are some of the symptoms of diseases and the onset of diseases? I want to show you something really quickly. Okay, so this is a basic electromagnetic Geiger counter, okay, electromagnetic radiation detector, okay? The human body should be at 0.01. The human body naturally should emit 0.01. Okay, how do I know this? Because I had actual forensics examinations done by professionals. Okay, watch this. Hold on. So you don't think it's my earrings. Okay, watch this. So you know it's not my earring, okay? See, it's picking up because this is being charged. Watch this, this is a charger, okay? It's gonna pick up some, but look, with this charger, it's 0. This is a tech, these are tech devices, right? Watch this, 0. Now, why with the human body, me, look at this. Tech device, okay? That's the left side. Let's do the right. Nothing. Look, because it's not on my right side. It's on my left side, okay? Okay? All right, so we examine that. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. So, what are some of the medical symptoms associated with technological implantation inside of the human body, hooked up to 5G, hooked up to artificial intelligence, hooked up to supercomputer? Okay? Tumors, growth in tumors. That is the first thing. Fibroids, cysts, polyps. For women, abnormal growth abscesses. Okay, abnormal growth abscesses. Okay, an increase if you're not careful and you don't stay away from things like sugar and a lot of pasta and a lot of bread, yeast. Okay, yeast, and don't just mean yeast infections down there. I mean an increase in yeast and parasites. So me, I don't eat sugar, okay? I limit bread, I limit fat. You have to change your diet because this technology interacts with everything you put in your body, okay? So be aware of this. For women, yeast, fungi. 1/3 of the United States suffer with fungi, okay? And molds, okay? Make no mistake. Okay, blurred vision. Blurred vision. Your vision is no longer 20/20. because of the incoming frequencies from the cell tones. The people they give your pin number to that can dial into your body and electroshock you from inside of your body. We'll get into the electroshocking. Okay? Lack of focus in your eyes would divert left to right. Or let's say you're supposed to watch, I'm telling you, I'm breaking it down. Let's say you're supposed to watch this cross. You're supposed to watch this cross. Focus on the cross. Your eye, because it's disconnected from your brain. Okay? When you have this technology inside of you, there is a disconnection in the symbiosis of your organs. Meaning that your brain will control your eye. When you have this technology inside of you, okay, it disconnects your organs from functioning seamlessly. Let me give you an example. Out this technology, internally, with the frequency coming off of it, or externally with frequencies hitting you. If someone says to focus on this cross, you could focus on it. With the technology inside of you and the constant inundation from the frequencies, your eye would go here, 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 and you cannot control it. And people will think, because in certain societies, if you're having a conversation with someone, in certain societies, you have to look people in their eye. The problem is, when this technology is inside of you, you cannot control where your eyes go. You'd be looking at the person's ear, their nose, their teeth, their hair, and some people will become insulted. Meanwhile, you are having difficulty controlling your eye. Your brain is having difficulty connecting to your eyes. Is everyone following? Okay, so that's some of the things you're gonna experience. The second thing that you're gonna experience is bodily function. Okay, some people experience that they cannot control their bodily functions. If the frequency is coming off of your uterus, okay, or the frequency you're being hit, you have the technology inside of you and the stalking, I'm going to get into the stalking, and you're being hit, okay, sometimes they would hit you and cause you to want to urinate. Sometimes they will hit you with the technology externally while they're stalking you, and then all of a sudden your stomach starts growling uncontrollably. Sometimes you may have to go use the toilet for solid waste. This is some of what it's like to live under cyborgization. Okay? It literally means no freedom for you. Bloating, flatulence. If you have a six-pack, your stomach will really balloon up. If you're accustomed to being 120, 130 pounds, nowhere you will retain weight. You will gain weight. But the weight is usually water retention. So you have to exercise every day. Okay? You will balloon up in weight. Okay? Let me explain what goes on inside of your intestines when it comes to food. Because this is machine learning, and the machine is very intelligent, especially if the machine is placed anywhere near your intestines. I am not telling you these things as someone who researched it. I am telling you these things as someone who they deployed this technology in and tried to conquer me. Okay? When you eat food, The technology is so intelligent, it knows the difference between healthy food and fast poisonous food. Okay? Healthy food and fast toxic food. The technology has not been adapted to destroy the body if you eat healthy. In fact, the technology, healthy food, overpowers this technology. If you're eating a lot of greens, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, the technology has very little power over it. If you eat junk, the technology has absolute power over junk food. Let me say that again. The technology doesn't have the power yet to communicate with healthy food, meaning that the symptoms of the technology abusing you will decrease. And it is as if the machine goes to sleep. When you eat junk food, the technology is programmed 100% for total domination. You know the saying, okay, let medicine be your food. I am telling you how this technology thinks in terms of food. And I'm not telling you as a research scientist. Okay, read between the lines. When you eat junk food, let me explain to you what the technology does. It is intelligent enough to differentiate real food that humans should be eating and garbage. When you eat junk food, the technology is programmed not to digest the food. It is programmed to let the food line the walls of your stomach. Are you following me? I am teaching you about the AI microchip technology and its relationship to food. No one is going to teach you this because they don't know it. I do. Okay? The AI and the technology, the microchips, all different varieties. There's a ton of different types of microchips out there. The relationship between this technology in the body and food is that it doesn't allow for proper breakdown of food, especially when you're eating GMOs. It is designed for the food not to break down. Do you know how powerful the acids are in your stomach? The acids in your stomach is literally like acid. With this technology inside of you, near your intestines or your uterus, this is a machine, guys. It tells the acid in the stomach not to break the food down, but to coat the walls. And it does so by slowing down your metabolism so that the food doesn't properly digest. The reason why it programs the acid in your stomach and your metabolism not to break down the food because they want, watch this, because the technology literally produces baby technology. Okay? Let me say that again. The technology is like a pregnant woman. It produces babies. And the babies have to eat. And the babies are machine programmed to junk food, to consume it. The junk food then gets lined to the stomach that prevents nutrients from being absorbed through the body. It keeps you perpetually sick. Let me tell you what happens. Now that the technology slows your metabolism, it is designed because it's a machine with intelligence. When you go to the bathroom for solid waste release, the food, depending on what you eat, is literally partially broken down. So instead of food being properly broken down by the gases in your stomach and proper chewing, it doesn't get broken down. It gets broken next to the gases in your stomach. It's literally 0.25% broken down. So you're sitting on the toilet trying to release food that is 0.25% broken down. What kind of environment do you think this creates in the body? A massive buildup of toxicity. Dairy is programmed. Let me tell you the foods that are programmed to interact with this technology that will kill you. Dairy, sugar, carbs. Not all carbs, but some carbs. Okay. And the deadliest of them all is meat. The meat will not be digested at all. The intelligent technology in your stomach will block the food meat, and that includes chicken. If you're eating beef, expect chunks of beef to come out from your rear. It will not be digested. The machine will not allow your stomach to digest the meat. This is a war. And I'm not telling you this, okay? As someone who researched this by reading a paper. I am telling you this because wicked doctors put this inside of me, and I had to fight for my life. The two main enemies of the human body, if you have this technology in you, three main enemies: dairy, meat, and sugar. Dairy, meat, and sugar are your three enemies if this technology is inside of you. Carbs, you can manage with carbs, okay? But your three main enemies, dairy, meat, and sugar, it will be a war in your stomach and you will feel it. I kid you not. If you have a six-pack, this technology is designed to destroy you from having a six-pack. If you are athletic and fit, you have to keep exercising. These are some of the things you need to understand. So headaches, dizziness, lack of cognitive functions. If you read on computers daily, it will be extremely difficult for you to read because the AI wants to read it in your foot. The chip will want to read what you're reading on the page, and if the chip doesn't like what you're reading, it will cause your eye to skip whole sentences because the chip doesn't like what you're reading, especially if the chip is manned by a programmer behind a cell phone or behind a computer. Okay? All right, let's continue. Now, let's get on to mind control and this technology. Mind control and this technology. The whole purpose and goal of this technology is cyborgization. Most of you think that cyborgization is actually head to foot steel robots. No. Cyborgization, before your head to foot steel robots, they want to cyborg biological systems. That is myself, and that is what they try to do. One of the first things via remote mind control. Many of this would appear like it's witchcraft, but it's not witchcraft. It's actual people using technology to do this. Remote mind control. Okay? The computer wants to know how you think. We're going to get into the psychology of this. There's so much information I have here for you guys, and I don't want to go over an hour and 30 minutes. I may have to do a part 2. Okay, so let's get to remote mind control and cyborgization. Cyborgization, I can tell you personally as someone who lived with the technology. I'm not telling you this as someone who read a book. The first and most important thing you need to understand about these chips, however they come, is they want you a slave. If you don't get this, you're going to be lost. They want you an unthinking slave. They do not want you to have a thought of your own. They want you to only think what the programmers put into the chip in you. Is everyone following that? Is everyone following that? Okay? I need you to understand this. Okay, good. Your first and most important thing to understand about remote cyborgization is that you are a slave. Let me explain to you what it is. Everything you invent belongs to them. Okay? Your thoughts must be approved by the chip and by the chip controllers. Did you hear what I just said? Your thoughts must be approved by the chip and the chip controllers. If the chip does not approve your thoughts, you will be tortured. I didn't stutter. Because the chip is designed to electrocute you inside of your body all the way up to your brain. You will be electroshocked. Are you following me? Your thoughts must be approved. And if you're approved, the programmer or the AI will let you know, change your thoughts or stop thinking the way you're thinking. And if you rebel, bzz, 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 until you comply. Is everyone following? Okay. If you are not electroshocked, you will be pulsed into compliance. Bing, 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 bing. That pulsed into compliance. If electroshock doesn't work, pulsing doesn't work, you will be blasted into compliance. What does blasting look like? Think about someone turning on white noise on mega speakers. Okay? All of a sudden your brain starts going like this, and your eyes go like that, and you can't focus your eyes, and you can't control. You will be blasted. Okay? So you have 3 ways in which, or sorry, 4 ways, zapped. Electroshock, pings, or zapped. Electroshock, pings, blasted, or zapped into compliance. Okay, there are 2 ways in which they execute remote thought policing. When you think it, 3 ways, 3 ways. When you think it, if you speak it, or if you type it. 3 ways in which they monitor and they thought police you. Okay? You can think it with your mouth closed. You can speak it, or you're typing it. If you think, type, or speak something that is non-compliance to the AI code they built into the chip that they put in you, you go through one of 4 phases: electroshocked, pinged, or zapped. Forgot about the 5th one. Burned. I'm sorry. Thank you, ABS. Burned. That's the 5th one. Burned. Okay? 5 phases: electroshocked, pinged, blasted, zapped, or burned alive. If you are non-compliant. 3 of them are internal punishments: the electroshock, the blasting, and the zapping. Sorry, the electroshock, the blasting, and the pings. They will do inside of you. The zapping and the burns will be done from external technology. Is everyone following what cyborgization is? Is everyone following? So there are 5 systems. Write it down for thought policing under AI cyborgization. Okay? You need to know and understand. There are 3 of them they will do internally if you deviate from the programmer and the AI. Inside, you will be electroshocked. Inside your body, you will be pinged, ping, 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 ping. Inside will be like they're turning something up, and you're like literally like this. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't concentrate, your balance is off. Okay? The 2 of them that they deploy outside of the body is the zapping. I will explain to you how the zapping and the burning is done. The zapping and the burning it literally comes from biometric stalking via police cameras or federal cameras. Matter of fact, any camera, because they could take over street cameras. This can be done via satellites, via drones, via street cameras, via police cameras, via federal cameras on buildings, via anyone they give with your PIN code to dial into your body, via public cameras, via electrical towers, via cell phone towers, via 5G towers. Okay? So the external zapping and the burnings. Now the burnings come from, they could be drones, they could be satellite, they could burn you from the satellite, they could burn you from drones, and they can burn you from directed energy weapons. Okay, that's the burnings. Okay, so we talk about the burnings. Now the zapping. They can zap you through the electrical towers. They can zap you. Mainly, the way they zap you is through the biometrics. Okay, that is those cameras, whether they're police cameras, government cameras, over every neighborhood. Just totally shut it down. Okay, hold on. Okay, all right, so let's continue. So how can they zap you? The main way they zap you is using biometrics. Okay, biometrics is when you're walking down the street, the police, the military, or criminals that the police or the military gives this technology to can hone in on your biometrics with cameras, whether the police cameras, federal cameras on buildings, cameras on someone's house. They can take over the cameras out of entire neighborhoods. So no matter where you go, that camera system is constantly tracking you. Built into those camera systems, much like all your social media apps, this camera, there's a little box. Okay, so everywhere you move, the box moves. And it hones in on what you call your biometrics. But if you're microchipped, if you're chipped like myself, it also hones in on the chip, right? And what they do is once they lock into position your biometrics, okay, not only that, the biometrics allows them to also lock into what they call your vitals, your heart, your brain waves, etc., your pulse, okay? They then use through the biometric cameras directed energy weapons. And the directed energy weapons are to where your biometrics are, or for the most part, they hone into where the chip is. They begin to blast you by zapping you. And it's literally like bzzz, and it can literally on you. Bzzz, that's the zapping. Or what police calls the really a ping. Okay, it's a zap. And they can constantly zap you like a constant stream of electrical current. Is everyone? All right, so that's some of the ways in which, that's not all, but that's some of the ways in which they use some of the mind control. Some of the mind control also takes over part of the body. Like all of a sudden your arm starts twitching, okay? And you can't control your arm. Like I told you, but your eyes start moving. Your stomach starts growling. Don't think because your stomach is growling, it necessarily means that you're hungry. No, okay? It's this technology. Okay, so remote control of your limbs, okay? Remote control of your body. Here's another thing that AI technology can do. The AI technology can take peaceful, peace-loving people. You're a peaceful, loving person. If the AI technology is programmed to make you violent, it would literally change your brain waves to make you aggressive. And you're asking yourself, why am I angry? And you're like, I can't, why am I angry? Or why do I feel violent? And you're like, why am I? Or here's another one. AI controlled hatred. Let me get into this because people don't even realize that a lot of their hatred is remote control, artificial, intelligent hatred. AI hatred is one of the biggest deployments that they're using to literally make humanity hate and fight each other. I don't like this person for a reason. The person has never done anything to you. But you find yourself welling up with a hatred of this person, especially if the person is a decent, kind, loving law-abiding person, and you literally feel the hatred, because what they're doing is the AI is now changing the frequencies around you and inside of you. Amazon is the main one behind this. Okay? Changing the frequencies inside of you to frequencies of hatred. You do know that hate has an actual gradation of frequencies. Okay? And all of a sudden, the frequencies around you and inside of you begin to build up, and you're like, the AI can literally make people around you, especially when the AI is one, hooked up to supercomputers, and two, hooked up to directed energy weapons. The AI in control as a machine will literally make wholesale neighborhoods of people hate your guts. If the AI, one of the things that the AI did to me, and it used people to trigger the AI, I'm going to tell you what it is. In New York, they used people, mind control slaves, to spread rumors about me. And then the AI, watch this, picked up the rumors, and everywhere that I went, even on social media online, people share those rumors. But when you ask them, have you met her? No. So why would you say something like that? Because they said it, not realizing this is an AI program. So an AI can literally change, and the AI gossips as well. It can literally turn people against you to start hating you. You need to understand this. Okay, so that's some of the behavior from this technology that you need to know. So we went into that. So torturing folks from the burnings or scratch, constantly waking up with these weird scratches, burns when combined with directed energy weapons. Now let's get into another part of what this technology does. Okay, I'm going to get into you in when the technology gets into the brain. Is everyone following? When the technology gets into the brain, the AI could cause them to turn against you and hate you for no reason. It is programmed. The AI, from what I have gathered, I'm going to tell you honestly, from my experience about this, it is not programmed to love. The only people that the AI is programmed to love is politicians that they want you to love and celebrities that they want you to love. And religious figures that they want you to love. Anyone that the system puts in place for you to worship, the AI is programmed for you to love. If the AI has not been approved to love you, the AI only understands, it doesn't understand neutrality. It's either love or hate. The AI cannot be neutral. Okay? Because remember, it's designed to learn and mimic the human environment. If the system has put people in place for you to love, the AI is programmed to love them until the system says no more. If you have not been approved by the programmers and the system as someone to love, the AI will unleash against you hate. Yes, Sandy Brown, no one is exempt from this. Is everyone following that? Right? All right, so let's get into AI and predatory stalking. AI, this is one of the most important. I still have like 2 pages to go of stuff, and there was something I wanted you guys to look at. Okay, so AI and predatory stalking. You need to understand that the AI is a stalker. When the AI, whether it's internally or externally, is unleashed against a person, whether to love them or whether to hate them, the AI stalks the person. Is everyone following? Does everyone understand AI stalking? Okay. Type 1 if you understand AI stalking. One second. Okay, good. Okay, so the TIs say they're being gang stalked. I'm going to explain to you when the AI takes over a person's brain, how they literally turn people into zombies. It's called cyborgization, okay, or AI zombies or zombification. Those people exist. Artificial intelligence zombification, or what they call AI swarming. Okay, this was research done by Harvard University about how to deploy human swarms on people, or how to solve problems using human swarms or AI zombification. These things are real, okay? We call it gang stalking, but you gotta understand the gang stalkers always have a damn tech device in their hand. Ask yourself, why do gang stalkers always have tech devices in their hand? And those tech devices literally have taken over their brains. They are cyborg or AI zombies. This is real. Let's get into artificial intelligence stalking. So you have to be selected for one other reason. The average person is not going to go through AI stalking. However, I have been noticing that it's changing. You know why? Because people who are not chipped like myself and people who are not tracked, hacked, monitored, and stalked like myself, I've been reading comments all across the internet, just random comments where people are saying they have a conversation in their house, and then all of a sudden an ad pops up down the street with what they talked about in their house. That is AI stalking. They call it, oh, no, that's marketing. Nope, that is stalking. Okay? If you have a conversation in your house, you were not telling a computer to give you information about your conversation. That is AI stalking. Okay? So one of the first places where AI stalking takes place is, you guessed it, across the internet. A programmer will make sure that your cell phone, your laptop, your computer, all your tech devices, they have what they call full spectrum dominance over all of it, your emails, your cell phone, your phone calls, everything, so that they can deploy stalking. How does AI stalk the person? Well, the first thing that AI does is that it makes sure it controls everything on your tech devices, including inside of your body. Remember I told you about thought policing? We don't like that thought. And the AI will tell you, we don't like that thought. Change it. And if you don't change it, then one of the 5 tortures. Okay? So AI stalking first starts with you guessed it, your tech device. Okay? This is the easiest, fastest way for them to stalk you. You will be stalked on social media. I'm not kidding you. Stalked on social media. If the AI that they have unleashed on you was programmed for you to fail, this is one of the things you will notice. If you look at my live stream, you see 82 people watching the live stream. But when you get off this live stream, you will see that there were actually about 300 people watching. I'll show you one of the ways the AI stalked me. For about 10 years, when they deployed AI stalking against me, I sent out tens of thousands of resumes, all of which they rerouted and blocked. Now that COVID-19 is decimating New York, I get daily invitations for job proposals. Do you honestly think it's one person sitting there with malware doing this? No. They deployed artificial intelligence to block the possibility of me finding work. And I was not just looking for work using my computer, I was looking for work on other computers. But the AI was built into my system to make sure wherever I did anything, I would not get a call back. Yes, Google is one of the major ones who deploy this. Facebook is one of the major ones who deploy this. Okay. Apple, your friendly Apple, they're one of the major ones. And you are literally stalked across the internet. Okay. So artificial intelligence stalking, and it is designed for you to fail. You need to understand this. It is not designed for you to succeed. It is designed for your demise and your ultimate failure. Okay? There's more I can go through with the AI stalking, but we could, let's talk about non-social media stalking. Okay? One of the things that they do is that they make sure when they're about to deploy an AI cyborgization program against a person is that they have to set up pinhole cameras in the person's home. Pinhole cameras. So every victim of AI cyborg, 9 times out of 10, they will have, I want to show you something because while I'm talking, they're literally starting to. Can you hear this? Watch this. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay? Let me do the back of my head. Okay? Okay? Because the reason why they use artificial intelligence and human cyborgs to do this is to save costs. So 95% of this will be deployed via AI. So AI pinhole cameras, more than likely you have pinhole cameras inside of your home because they want to monitor you in your home and they want to monitor you outside of your home. So pinhole cameras in your home, literally watching you, that's what they're doing to me now, and street cameras outside of your home, literally watching you. Okay, let me do that again because they just started burning me. Okay, you hearing that? That's real, guys. Okay, that's not supposed to be happening, guys. That's like an electrical outlet. Watch this. I'm going to put this near an electrical outlet. That's an electrical outlet. This is my body. Are you guys hearing? Okay, all right. So one of the ways they stalk you is your routers. You need to know that your router is not just for your ability to get, but your router they hack and they use to stalk you as well. Your electrical outlet is used to stalk you. Okay, your electrical outlet is also used to stalk and torture you. The electrical outlet and the routers are used for not just stalking, but torture. Okay, all public and private cameras, everywhere there's a camera where you walk, they will remote take over that camera to monetize you, honing on the biometrics, honing on the chips, and then either zap you or burn you. Cell phone towers is so that they can literally communicate with you wherever you go. Satellites are used to stalk you and to also burn you with directed energy weapons. All electrical grids is what they use to stalk you as well. Okay, they're turning up the implants now that I'm talking, so I'm gonna listen. You're really turning it up now. Okay. Okay. You guys hear it? This is done by New York State. So New York State, and let me put this by an electrical outlet. Why is my body an electrical outlet making the same sounds? Okay, this torture program is big in New York, California, Florida, the 4 states where they deploy. All over the United States they deploy it, but the biggest states is California, New York, Texas, and Florida deploy the remote torture program. Okay, some of the people who are involved, you need to understand. So who are some of these entities that are involved in cyborgization? Okay, cyborgization. The first one you need to know is the government. Okay, but the government in particular, the military are the ones who create this. DHS and Department of Homeland Security are the main ones behind this. Okay, tech companies. So the government and tech companies are the two main proponents of cyborgization. Okay, police. Okay, many police are involved in this. Not all police, but many. Medical doctors, because that's usually how they get the technology into the body, and communications companies. Okay, so you need to know who's involved or who are the players that are involved in these things. These are the main players, and then your hackers, okay, and people on the dark web, right? So I have a lot more notes to go into. Some of the notes I'm going to make a part 2 on AI and racism. AI is designed to be racist because they have to keep that hierarchy. AI is also designed to be sexist. If you're a woman, it is designed to be sexist. 80% of the people that they throw into these programs are in fact women. So the AI is designed to be sexist and racist. Okay, one of the things I wanted to go to is AI and religion. Okay, because the AI wants to be God. You need to know and you need to be able to differentiate your sky fairy from the AI sky fairy. And I'm telling you, they're merging the two so that you won't be able to tell. Okay? You need to understand that you are not a failure. This is the hardest thing for people to understand before I get into the last part of this, okay, about the cyborgization. I'll open up all the other, we're going to look at some lawsuits and then we're going to look at a NASA Word document. What I need you to understand is this. I need you to understand that you are not a failure, okay? You are being failed. This is the biggest battle that most people fail. It took me 20 years to realize that I wasn't failing. I was thrown into an artificial intelligence program of which I couldn't fight at that time. Now I am better equipped to fight. So you need to understand, if you have gone to prison, I am telling you right now, okay, you have to literally fight the programming because it is a computer model that 90% of the times it is a computer model that it was invisibly there to literally corner you into making decisions that would put you in prison to make others profit. I know this sounds like Star Trek, but I am not joking. I am telling you this as a living witness to this program. If you are in prison, you need, no matter how criminal, you need to understand, if you're in prison in the West, I am telling you, the decisions you made, I am telling you, you did not make it in your right mind. And I say this literally from 1950 to 2020. Why do I say that? Because 1950 to 2020 is when they started messing with these frequencies. And these frequencies are invisible. But these frequencies, though invisible, have the power to change people's thoughts. If you are in prison or you have a criminal mindset, you have been overcome by technology. I know I'm going to miss a lot of you on that. I am not saying continue being a criminal. I am not condoning criminal behavior. I am telling you, the power of this technology to change a decent person into a criminal mindset you don't even understand. And as a person who fought this technology for 20 years, I can tell you, if you don't understand how to fight this technology, if you don't have the eye against you, you will become a criminal. And if you already have criminal ideations, meaning that you have a criminal mindset, even though you never physically committed a crime, this technology will find it and it will turn you into a criminal. This is a very powerful technology. And people don't even understand. When they roll this shit out into completion, it's game over unless you're able to differentiate what is spiritual, what is physical, and what is technological. Going forward, the reason why I'm making this video is you need to understand these three dimensions. You need to understand and differentiate. If something is spiritual, you need to be able to identify it and fight it. If something is physical, you need to identify the threat and know how to fight it. But when it's technological, do you know most people think that technology is witchcraft? Because it's designed to mimic it. And you be casting out demons 20 years. Meanwhile, they're laughing behind a computer because it's technology. Meanwhile, you're saying to yourself, how is it that this person has a criminal mindset and they can't change their minds? Meanwhile, it's technology that has control of their brains and they cannot change because the technology has literally cyborged the person. So part two, we're going to get into AI and religion. If you have stiff dogmas, you're not going to be in the winning seat. If you're dogmatic going into the technotronic era, you're going to be a slave. AI program failure, part two. AI and perception warfare. AI and employment. AI and predictive policing. AI and cyborgization. AI and your five senses. How does AI, because we're already going to 2 hours and there's something I want to cover, and AI, remote neural monitoring, and hacking. We're going to go into that in part two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some stuff really quickly for us to get into. Okay? These are some lawsuits. Let's get into this really quickly. I'm going to post a link. These are lawsuits on a government website of all the people who have brought lawsuits due to remote neural monitoring and everything that I've spoken about. Of course, the wicked government is not going to come out and disclose that they're using this technology on people. If you want to read some of these lawsuits, I'm posting this lawsuit here. Do not ask me for the lawsuit again because I'm posting the link here. Okay? So that you can read these lawsuits. Okay? Government, and these lawsuits are specific for people who brought lawsuits to remote neural monitoring. The reason why a lot of the cases are thrown out, it's because the government is still testing, the military is still testing the type of technology covertly on people. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, but let me read you one of these lawsuits, what someone claimed. Okay, and this is in the government website. Okay, is everyone following? Okay, so the plaintiff is Michelle R. Mathis et al. That means and others. These are the plaintiffs. The judge is Judge Marbley, Magistrate Judge King, versus Mike DeWine et al. As defendants. I'm going to read you 2 pages and that's it. I want to make sure everyone is following. Is everyone following? Is everyone following? Excellent. Let's read this really quickly. Michelle R. Mathis, plaintiff, has filed a complaint which she characterizes as a class action complaint, asserting claims on her own behalf and on the behalf of 16 other named individuals. Plaintiff's application for leave to proceed without prepayment of fees or costs has been granted. This matter is now before the court of the initial screen of the complaint required by 20 U.S.C. sections 1915E. The claims asserted in the complaint. Plaintiff seeks injunctive release from an unspecified nature as well as $900 billion in compensatory damages or compensation. The complaint, which is signed only by plaintiff, describes the action as follows. This is a class action lawsuit arising out of the fraudulent and or inaccurate criminal records, human trafficking of plaintiff and class members, digital rapes, that is something that they do remotely, and what they do, it's called virtual reality porn. Okay, they're testing virtual reality porn. Another word for it is digital rape. And one of the leading people in virtual reality porn or digital rape is some parts of the military is testing this, and Silicon Valley. We'll get into digital porn in part 2, digital rape in part 2. Okay, yes, they can rape a person remotely. Violations of the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Ninth Amendment, 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment. Let's read part 2. The U.S. Constitution, yada, yada. Complaint, page 8. The complaint specifically alleges that the rapper Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, is the person in operation of the human trafficking. So this person is saying that Sean Carter is a part of this technology, I don't know why they would say this, and is performing these things. And that the people of the United States of America have placed remote neural monitoring on plaintiff and class members to control them as human traffic victims, to not continue to place court complaints or even do court complaints because of people of the United States of America refuse to do anything. If you want to read this lawsuit, you can read the lawsuit that these victims brought against, allegedly, Jay-Z. Okay? I wanted you guys to see that. So we're done with that. Next, we're going to do, next video is AI and prediction. That's the next video. I kind of showed you in part with predictive policing, but I want to get into why you are not committing crimes, but you're being controlled to commit crimes. You need to understand that. We got into artificial intelligence, but this is the meat and the bones we're going to really get into in part 2. This is called the NASA War Document. Okay? NASA War Document. Future strategic issues, future warfare. The future is now. This is a warfare strategy document by NASA, NASA. Let's look at some of the things that is presented in this document. If you think cyborgization is a joke, the presentation, page 4, is based in all cases upon existing data trends, analyzes technologies, robots, cyborgs, and humans. If you think cyborgization is a joke, this is NASA. Page 93. Exploit CNN syndrome. Sync carriers via swarm attacks. Remember, I told you guys about AI swarms. Capture, torture Americans in living color. Remember, I told you about remote torture. on prime time terror attacks within CONUS, binary bio, critical infrastructure takedown, IOIW, EMP, radio frequencies against brain. War, which is a psychological war. Remember, I told you guys. I'm going to get into the psychological war. If you are religious, you're going to fail this war. If you have any dogma that is set in stone, you are being programmed to be destroyed. Page 9. Humans have taken over and vastly shortened evolution. How they intend to fix that. Page 14. Key future technologies. Watch this. Automatic, robotic, everything. Genetic engineering before birth. Is everyone following? Is everyone following? Is everyone following? Let's continue. Okay, so page 14 discusses how they want to genetically engineer people before they are born. And part of the genetic engineering is to roboticize them, meaning to try to turn them like what they tried to do to me. Page 66 of the NASA war document. Increasingly critical human limitations, downsize, large, heavy, tender, slow. What they're saying is human weaknesses, require huge logistic train, humans. Humans have rapidly decreasing to negative value added. This is how they see us. We don't add value. We get old and we cost them money. Page 66. So funny they're talking about human and value, and it's on page 67. Robotics in the large. Save lives. I'm telling you right now, they will not be using robots to save lives. Enhances affordability, redefines risk, threat, environment, enhances effectiveness. Well, that's for the robots. So they're literally telling you that the robots have more value than humans. Page 35. Examples. Confluent bio. Remember I was telling you about IT and bio and nano? Brain of a sea lamprey inserted, connected to the body of a robotic fish. Remember what I was telling you guys? An initial cyborg? Choo Choo, a flesh plant eating robot that hunts. Remember I told you that AI stalks. Watch this. Biodigests natural foods to live off the land. What was I telling you about artificial intelligence and your digestion? Page 43. Microdust weaponry, using dust as a weapon. A mechanical analog to bio, micron-sized mechanicized dust, which is distributed as an aerosol and inhaled into the lungs. Dust mechanically bores into the lung tissue and executes various, watch this, pathological missions. A new class of weaponry, which they tell you the dust is legal. This is what we're going to get into in part 2. Okay? This is what we're going to get into in part 2. Okay? Last and finally, this is what I want to show you guys before we're done. I am doing consultations. Many people are running around like a chicken without a head because they don't understand what's going on and they don't know what to do. Okay? I can give you consultations as best as I can to help you prolong your life. There are certain things that I will tell you that will cost you money because I knew that there was no way around it. But I can just give you the advice in a consultation. I also do planning and strategizing consultations. If you want to plan and strategize your life for this new age, it's not the end of the world, my dear. It's the end of the age where humans have freedom. When we come out of this situation, it's going to be AI that has the freedom and you as the slave. I do consultations. If you want to get a consultation, you see there in green, it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You click on the green, you choose a date in the green, only Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You click your time, you put in your number, your name, your email address, your comment. Just tell me what you want the consultation for, and you enter the code, you click continue. Then you make your payment, and when it's done, your consultation will be made. So remember to keep your dates. So consultation is something that I am offering, okay? And it is one set price. Spiritual consultation, business consultation for what you want to do with your life in the coming age and how to plan, okay? And then going forward, if you are a technologically trafficked individual, there are things you can do to at least help yourself. They're not foolproof, but they can at least help you. Okay? And that, my friends, is the end. We're going to do a part 2. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Okay. We are going to do a part 2 on the cyborgization and what it's like to live like this. I need you guys to know. You need to know. Because going forward, if you don't know how to deal with this, you will be destroyed. There is no turning back. It is gung-ho forward with cyborgization of this planet. They are not turning back from this technology. Okay? They are not. They are gung-ho to roboticize humanity and cyborg people. You need to know what it's like to live like this. You will be totally a slave. I want to do something. While I'm talking to you now, they're turning up. Listen. Are you hearing? As I'm talking to you right now, can you hear it? This to my right is an electrical outlet. This in front of me is my body. Okay? That's what I live with every day. All because I went to some Jews with technology, with my inventions. That is the price I paid. 20 years of the price I paid. Okay? All right, guys. So this is already 2 hours. We're going to have to make a part 2, and I'll make a part 2. Guys, like the video, share the video, subscribe. If you need spiritual consultation and guidance, guys, get it. If you need planning, how to plan for what's coming, get it. If you need assistance to at least help you in some way, in terms of, I'm not saying it's an absolute, when it comes to technological trafficking and cyborgization and AI, it's a combination of things, and you got to keep trying until you find something. They are not going to disclose this program because they use human test subjects. Oh, by the way, the people who are behind it, I'm going to tell you honestly who's responsible for doing it to me. The people responsible for doing it to me, Melinda, and another woman were wealthy Jews. However, for other people, it was the churches that was given state technology. For me, it was wealthy Jews, and then it got worse when I went into the churches. You need to know your churches are using this to mind control you religious people. You need to know. The churches have this military technology and they use it to mind control you. All right, guys. So guys, thank you for joining me this Friday. You need to know what's going on. You need to know how it's done. And you need to be cursing these devils. All right, guys? Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And we're going to do a part 2 of what it's like to live under cyborgization. Yep. Remedios Naturales said, mine was a Christian church. I'm telling you, it's Christian churches. I'm telling you. I'm not lying. Christian churches, mosques, synagogues all have this technology. If they're 501c3, they all have the technology to stalk you, AI stalk you, pay off doctors to implant you. They all have it. Okay? For myself, Melinda, and another person, it was wealthy Jews. Wealthy Jews threw me into the program, and the churches really, you need to understand, you got to be careful with these churches and mosques and synagogues. You got to be careful with these religious institutions because they are run by Luciferian Satanists. Okay? Doctors, jobs, all of it. All right, guys? Okay, guys. So thank you for joining me. And we're going to do a part 2 on what it's like to live under cyborgization and AI stalking, what it's like to live in an artificially induced prison. That's why I say to people, before I go, I got 5 minutes. If you have developed a criminal mindset, there are things you can do while you're in prison. Even if you're serving a life sentence, where you can backtrack and you can say to yourself, wait, could this have been technology that took over my mind? If you grew up in a ghetto, I'm telling you, this technology influenced you. I'm not joking. This technology influenced you. Do you know why? Because do you know that most ghettos are in large cities? And do you know that within a 3-mile radius of ghettos or low-income communities, they are inundated with cell phone towers, with 4G, 3G, 4G, whatever, now 5G towers? Leah, great question, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. Your environment is literally fighting invisible demonic frequencies. So if your environment and you're being inundated with invisible frequencies, your environment is toxic to you. Not only that, the frequencies are designed to change the way you think and change the way you behave. That's what I'm trying to show you about this technology. This technology is designed to make passive, law-abiding people criminals. It is designed to make peaceful people violent. One of the countries they tested this technology on was the Rwandans in the Rwandan genocide. Another country they tested this technology on was in the Liberian genocide. They used radio frequencies to cause the genocide in Rwanda. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay? You literally have to be able to distinguish between witchcraft, which is in the spirit realm, your physical brain thinking something, and this technology. Okay? The war in Rwanda, it was this technology that was used via radio waves and satellites to cause the genocide in Rwanda and Liberia. These two countries in Africa, they both said the same thing. Took over them and they started becoming violent. That's this technology, but just deployed via radio waves. Okay? All right, guys. So we're going to do a part 2 next video. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Thank you for joining me. Okay, and just be aware of how this works. So they're really turning up this technology now. Like, they are pissed that I'm exposing this shit. Anyway, guys, thank you. Love yourself, and be aware. This technology is a fucking Trojan horse. It is a Trojan horse, and they want it in you.